City Council agenda. I now call this meeting to order. Our Pledge of Allegiance and Invocation this afternoon will be given by Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Chairman. If you would please stand, face the flag, bring the proper salute, repeat after me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir. All right, we have no special presentations this afternoon. Could I have a motion on the minutes, please? We have a motion on the minutes to approve with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. We do not have any ordinances on final reading this afternoon. We do have one on first reading. Madam Clerk, if you would, let's read 6A, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to lift conditions 11B and 11C from ordinance number 13110, previous case number 2016-0060, from the properties located in the 2300 and 2400 blocks of Elam Lane and the 2300 through 2500 blocks of Gun Barrel Road, 2321 Lifestyle Way, and 7344 McCutcheon Road.
Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As we covered in our 3:30 session, we're still working on some language, conditions, and interpretation. So I'd like to defer this to February 22nd.
February the 22nd. All right. Do I have a second? We have a motion on the floor to defer until February the 22nd with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. Motion to defer does carry. Now, Madam Clerk, if there are no objections from this council, would you take 7A, B, and C together as a package, please?
Item A resolution authorizing the mayor, his designee, to enter into a nonprofit lease standard form agreement with the Forgotten Child Fund, Inc., and substantially the form attached to lease approximately 19,516 square feet of warehouse space at 1815 East Main Street, identified as tax map number 156BD009 for the 3-month term of February 1 to 2022 through April 30, 2022, for the rent of $1 per term with the option to renew for 3 additional terms of 3 months each. Item B, a resolution authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a nonprofit lease standard form agreement with the Forgotten Child Fund, Inc., and substantially the form attached to lease approximately 1142 square feet of office space at 1715 East Main Street, identified as tax map number 156BD011 for the 3-month term of February 1, 2022 through April 30, 2022, for the rent of $1 per term with the option to renew for 3 additional terms of 3 months each. Item C, a resolution to amend resolution number 30619 to authorize the mayor, his designee, to enter into a donation agreement and substantially the form attached with the Ames Center, Inc. for the development of affordable housing on the property located at 1815 East Main Street, identified as tax parcel number 156BD009, and to execute all documents necessary to complete the transaction.
Councilwoman Burrs. We have a motion on the floor to approve items 7A, B, and C with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. So ordered. Madam Clerk, now we'll move down to Family Justice Center and the police. With no objections, let's take D and E together, please.
Item D, a resolution authorizing the Family Justice Center to apply for and, if awarded, accept a grant for an amount not to exceed $160,000 to support the services provided to victims living within Hamilton County for a grant period of July 1, 2022 through June 30, 2023. Item E, a resolution authorizing the chief of the Chattanooga Police Department to enter into a contract with Safeware and substantially the form attached and approved by the Office of the City Attorney for a Nomad mobile command vehicle with an original vehicle purchase price of $342,000 based upon Omnia contract number 44000846A from lead agency Fairfax County VA Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness. Let's say $20,000 trade-in credit of an International 4700 with an expected delivery of 310 calendar days after receipt of order for a final total of $322,000.
Councilwoman Burrs. All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve items D and E with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. All opposed, no. So moved. 7F, please.
A resolution authorizing the waiver of park rental fees for Friends of the Festival and Support of Riverfront Nights for the dates of July 2, July 9, July 16, July 23, July 30, August 6, August 13, August 20, and August 27, 2022, in the amount of $18,000.
Councilwoman Dotley. Councilman Ledford. All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve item 7F with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. So moved. 7G, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to execute a federal U.S. Communities Contract number 4400008468 with Safeware to assist local communities in procurement of public safety and emergency preparedness equipment and related services, and leverage this contract to install a system of automated high water road closures at flood-prone streets within the city for an amount of $256,357.19.
Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe this is the item we covered at 3:30 that the administration would like to withdraw.
That's correct.
That is in the form of a motion, sir.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to withdraw item 7G with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. So ordered. Moving now to 7H.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to authorize on-call blanket contracts for on-call design and plan production services. Contract number S20004100 for year 2 of a 5-year term with the following firms: 1, W.K. Dixon; 2, Volkirk; 3, Barge Design; 4, S&ME; 5, RK and K; 6, Geosyntex; 7, CTI; 8, Croy; 9, Chazen Labella Associates; 10, Brown and Caldwell; and 11, Arcadis, that each consultant qualified for the renewal of 5 one-year blanket contracts for professional services estimated at $250,000 total annually for all 11 professional firms for use by all departments.
What is the pleasure of the council? We have a motion on the floor to approve item 7H with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. The motion to approve does carry. Moving now to purchases. Mr. Goldberg, you want to come present those to the council, please, sir?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We have 9 purchases this evening. The first is from the Fleet Management Division of Public Works. This is first contract renewal for batteries and battery supplies. Batteries Plus submitted a 3% price increase for certain line items. The annual amount is $190,000. The second item is from Fleet Management Division of Public Works. This is a first contract renewal for batteries and battery supplies. MHC Kenworth, Chattanooga, DBA Tennessee Kenworth LLC submitted a price increase of 15% for certain line items. The annual amount is $100,000. The third item from Fleet Management as well is a contract increase with Macko Collision Center and Auto Painting for paint and body repair on light-duty vehicles. This increase is due to unexpected usage of this contract for collision repair and painting. Contract renews March 1st, 2022. The amount of the increase is $60,000 for a total estimated annual spend of $220,000. Fourth item from Fleet Management as well, contract increase with MHC Kenworth, Chattanooga, DBA Tennessee Kenworth LLC for paint and body repair on light-duty vehicles. This increase is due to unexpected usage of this contract for collision repair and painting. Contract renews March 1st, 2022. The amount of the increase is $10,000 for a total estimated annual spend of $41,500. Fifth item is from Public Works. This is the purchase of 1 Caterpillar D6 bulldozer from Stowers Machinery Corporation. This purchase utilizes Sourcewell contract 032119, and the amount is $477,761.55. Item 6 from Public Works, purchase of one Kubota D1105 RTV X1100 CWLH from Kubota of Chattanooga. This purchase utilizes Sourcewell contract 031121, and the amount is $19,268.94. Another department has previously purchased the same equipment from the same vendor, and this purchase will bring the total spend to $37,741.26, which is why it's coming to council. Item 7, Facilities Division of Public Works, new blanket contract for elevator and lift inspection, maintenance, testing, and repair services. 3 bids were received, and the award goes to United Elevator Services LLC as the best bid meeting specifications. This will be a 4-year contract with an annual amount not to exceed $140,000. Item 8, Fire Department Mobile Communications, 2 new blanket contracts for radio tower inspection, maintenance, and repair services. 3 bids were received, and the awards will go to Midland Communications LLC and United Tower Company LLC as the best bids meeting specifications. These will be 4-year contracts with a combined annual amount not to exceed $75,000. And finally, with the Head Start Division of Early Learning, first contract renewal with Institutional Wholesale Company, Inc. for food items and cleaning products. The renewal reflects the 5% price increase previously approved by City Council on November 16, 2021, with an annual amount not to exceed $157,500.
Council, you've heard this evening's request for purchases. What's your pleasure? We have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. So ordered.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we also have an RFP format for council approval. We're requesting approval to issue an RFP, not approval to award any contracts at this time. The RFP would be for Parks and Recreation Management software and services. There are numerous software applications available, both off-the-shelf and custom applications. The Parks and Outdoors Department would like to consolidate multiple existing software applications and find a single solution that meets the needs of the department and enhances services for residents. A competitive RFP is necessary to evaluate the various solutions available. We are requesting approval to issue this RFP.
Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to approve the RFP.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve tonight's RFP with a proper second. Were there any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you. That takes us now to committee reports. Councilwoman Hill. Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Planning and Zoning did meet today where we covered all items on our agenda and also a presentation by Camaros on the zoning code analysis. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilman Hester. Councilwoman Burrs. Vice Chair Smith. Councilwoman Dotley. Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you,
Okay.
Chair. Economic Development had a report today on ARP funds. I'm saying it wrong, but the funding for homeless people. I can't think of
The
name of
the
fund.
ARP funds.
Okay, so I said it right.
Yeah.
The ARP funds.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
That's it.
All right, that concludes our agenda to this point. Now we come to other business. We do have a nomination this afternoon of Andrea Smith to the Health, Education, and Housing Facility. Councilman Hester.
I'm nominating Andrea Smith for Health, Education, and Housing Board. She's qualified. She's very committed to the cause. Thank you.
All right, that is in the form of a motion. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept the nomination. Any questions or comments before we vote? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. So moved. All right, and we have one appointment, and it is a District 8 appointment. In the absence of Councilman Byrd, Madam Clerk, I will read the appointment of Lee Brock to the Board of Zoning Appeals. And speaking of Councilman Byrd, we did receive a letter of resignation this morning, and I have submitted that letter to the clerk, and I'm going to ask that she read that letter of resignation into the minutes at this time.
To the constituents of District 8 and the City Council of Chattanooga, with great gratitude and also no small degree of sadness, I hereby submit my resignation as District 8 Chattanooga City Councilman, effective upon City Council confirmation of my appointment by Mayor Kelly to the position of City Court Clerk. In order to avoid the perception of a conflict of interest, I will refrain from casting any votes until my appointment is decided upon by the City Council. These are exciting times in our city with many good changes and unprecedented growth. Since my initial election as councilman, I have worked to add my own contributions to the legacy of the great and diverse District 8. I'm proud of the impact we made through community cleanups, as well as the ongoing distribution of food, clothing, and toys to those in need. And of course, I am forever grateful for the reconstruction of the Avenel Community Center, where we are actively strengthening our community through outreach and programming. There is so much that we as a community have accomplished together, and it gives me hope with certainty that our district, along with the other 8 districts, stand on firm footing with a bright future. It has been an honor to serve in this role, and I look forward to continued service of our residents and business through this new appointment. Sincerely, Anthony Byrd.
And Madam Attorney, if you would have us a resolution confirming Councilman Byrd to the city court clerk position on our 2-week agenda to be voted on next week on the 8th, to be voted on the 15th. Okay. And I guess at the same time, we will also need a resolution on the 15th after we vote on the confirmation to declare that seat vacant and to direct the Hamilton County Election Commission to place that seat on the ballot for the August county general election. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Concluding all items on our agenda this afternoon, we come to the time that we recognize persons wishing to address the council. This afternoon is by a show of hands. Is there anyone that would like to address the council this afternoon? Okay, thank you. All right. Madam Attorney, if you would please read our rules to address the council. And if you'd like to, go ahead and make your way to the podium and you can begin after Madam Attorney completes.
If you'd like to address the
You
council, please line up at the podium here and wait to be recognized by the chairman. If you would state your name and limit your comments to within the purview of the authority of this board, and we will have IT set a timer for 3 minutes. Thank you.
All right, Mr. IT, could you give us 3 minutes on the clock, please? All right, you may begin.
Marie Mont, District 8. It's Black History Month. I'm excited to be here. I have the nerve to walk my own way, however hard, in my search for reality rather than climb upon the rattling wagon of wishful illusions. Zora Neale Hurston. You should definitely, since it's Black History Month, I'm going to recommend Barracoon, which talks about the last slave that was brought to America after slavery actually ended it. But I wanted to talk about today, considering it's Black History Month, and we've had an unprecedented conversation about displacement of African-American residents in my district as well as all across the city. It's important to talk about mitigation of harm, recognition of what is happening, not only to African-Americans, but our homeless that have made their way and people who are concerned about our homeless coming here. I want to give a solution that is not going to tax the taxpayers, but it's going to be something that should happen with development as a solution to be able to create housing for people here in the city. I ran with this with City Council, and it was a commercial linkage fee. As a matter of fact, Boston, Massachusetts is the oldest city in America that has a commercial linkage fee that developers pay $8 per square foot for a commercial project into an affordable housing fund. And catch this, family, from 1986 to 2000, they generated $45 million. That ain't no small change. So imagine if they took that money and they made 5,000 affordable units. That could take care of all of our homeless and start taking care of people in our community, can it not? What about Arlington, Virginia? They did the exact same thing, $1.77 per square foot. And between 2013 and 2016, they raised $14 million in revenue. There's nothing wrong with development, but developers have to get back into the community, right? They should be able to do that. And how do we build out, if we're tearing down housing projects because of we don't have the federal funding, we have to find creative ways to get to a solution. So this is a way, we're just asking them to take a small portion of their project, put that into an affordable housing fund that doesn't bootstrap the taxpayer, but has the people who are already making revenue giving back to the community and building up the infrastructure. Doesn't that make sense? So that's give and take. That's what business is supposed to be about. It's not one-sided, right? It's give and take. So we're not asking for nothing for free because they're winning. They're winning, obviously, because we're developing. We're just asking that they give a small portion of a project back to the very communities that they're coming in so we don't displace people. And at the same time, for the people who are on the streets, we start putting them in the housing. And if cities are doing this across the nation, what's Chattanooga's problem? We need to catch up and do some new things. It's a new time. Councilman Byrd, I thank him for, if I could just say that, going over time, please. I want to thank Councilman Byrd because he was the only council person who actually met with us when we had protest demands. The only person that actually sat down and listened to us as young people. I want to thank him in his absence that he took a firm decision to not be partial when he could have and casted votes. That's honor. And so I want to thank him for his leadership, and I'm excited that the seat is open. I'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all.
Janice Gooden, District 8. I really hadn't planned on coming down here. I was looking at the 3:30 session virtually, and there are a couple of topics that I've really been following, so I just felt compelled to come down here and make a few comments. The first one, I've been following the process with homelessness. I participated in the public meetings that were held on the 6th and the 24th. And I was happy to see some of the questions that were asked today because they're the same questions that I've been asking. So I appreciate that. Now, the other topic is zoning. I've been following planning commission meetings. I've been following all of the zoning cases. And I was really interested to see that presentation, but I'm wondering, is it going to be posted on the website for the public to review? Will we have a chance to, thank you, to have some input, before you make any decisions? So I'm really pleased to see that.
Thank you. Councilman, I don't think that's one thing we talked about is posting the presentation online, but I believe that's something that we can do. Joda?
Absolutely. I do want to make one thing clear, which is that Camaros's recommendations are recommendations, right? They're not a prescriptive a set of things. And I do want to be very clear about that for the public. So we will find a way to get that to our website and people can review them, but keep in mind that this body has to go and adopt those changes or any changes that are made to our code.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else that would like to address the council this afternoon? Council, I'm not seeing any other hands. What's the pleasure of the council? So, and I will leave it. Those guys are good players. I know. Bring down the rebound and just sit there and hold.